Hey guys, Ed R here. In this video, I want to go over why I felt like I wasted $1,600 on a rainwater harvesting tank. How I was feeling a little bad about it for a while. I also want to go over specs and dimensions of one of my rainwater harvesting tanks and relate them to everyday objects and people. Additionally, I want to show you guys how we diagnosed that the tank was damaged. Furthermore, I want to show you guys how I repaired it, what products I used, and finally demonstrate that the tank was successfully repaired. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye. So here we are with this 530-gallon rainwater harvesting tank. We're lifting it up pretty easily. It is 3 people. Easy to move. It's a nice design. Overall, really maneuverable. Here we're going to cut to the website where I bought it from. Show you the different options that we have and what they sell. End up going to the rainwater harvesting tanks. Here I'm showing you just what the different sizes are, the price range. If you need to have more detail, just stop the video. So here we are, 530 gallons, Bushman polyethylene slimline rain tank. Yep, there it is, $1,631. That's that slit that snuck by me. On the invoice that they send you and on the return policy that the website has, it says, make sure you inspect the tanks and look for any damages done, report it, and we can give you credit or return it or work with you. I did not see this slit when I was getting it off of the 18-wheeler. That's a nail. It goes pretty deep. Here in a second, you're going to see that I can kind of move it in and out. I don't know if that's where the floor of the tank gets welded to the main part of the tank or how that happened. It looks like it's scratched. Maybe like the knife on a forklift. See how we're able to move it really easily. I was really hoping it wasn't through and through. I was moping around for a few days when I did realize it was broken. Initially, I was thinking of using Flexi Seal or that Flex Tape or something that they advertise on TV, but that's a petroleum-based product. And it says it's not for use for potable drinking water, and eventually, maybe at some point, this will be household water, maybe in the future if I ever need it to. Right now, my only plan is to use that water I collect from rain and use it in the garden. So right there, we're putting water on it, and it's not overflowing, and which basically tells us that it's a through and through slit that goes straight into the tank. So I won't be able to hold water on it. It had a few scratches, but nothing else ended up going through and through. See right there, that's where it looked like the forklift maybe scratched it up. Lesson learned, inspect the tanks, top, bottom, turn them around. This is what we're going to be using, JB Weld high heat epoxy. Comes with 2 resins. You mix them together. This one had like a 45-minute to an hour setting time. We just washed it all off with the water, and now it's in the sun. We're going to wait for it to kind of heat up and dry it all off. In the meantime, we're going to sand it down. Yeah, I can't emphasize enough, just inspect the tanks. Again, that's 4-inch PVC pipes in that cardboard box for reference. Man, I really felt bad for not making sure. Alright, so we opened the package for the epoxy resin. Here we're about to mix them together. The plunger pushes both out at the same time. It comes with a little tongue depressor stick that you'll use to mix it all in together. That black and white ends up turning into like a charcoal color. Mix it in really well. They had some epoxies that would set in 15 minutes, but this high heat had a higher PSI, pounds per square inch, that it would hold. It's really overkill. I don't think it's that much. It's heavy, right? All the 500 gallons of water, but I don't think it's enough to make a difference one way or the other. Here we're using that wooden tongue depressor that the kit comes with, and we're trying to really spread out all that epoxy mixed in. Really get it in the whole slit. We're going to come back here with a spatula, metal spatula, and really try to force all that epoxy into the actual slit. Everything I read said that epoxy was okay for potable water. So that's the reason why, again, I opted for epoxy over that Flexi Seal tape or putty or whatever they advertise on TV. The one that fixes the boat, basically. We're really trying to push in all that epoxy into the actual tank. We did 2 to 3 passes where we would fill it in, round it out, let it set for an hour, come back, apply another layer. You really want to mix in only smaller bits of epoxy. You don't want to have a lot of left over, because then you're just using it and you might have to use another kit. It's really easy to work with this stuff. If you didn't have a spatula, I think that tongue depressor would work as well. This epoxy stuff is magic. Yeah, so like I said, we applied that epoxy to all the major scratches. Try to really fit it in there, jam it inside. It looks a little rough there, but we ended up smoothing it out. I guess I can't talk today. We ended up going with the slimline tank because I'm going to tuck it in right beside the house. Hopefully it won't be too obvious. And here it is. So it ended up hardening a lot. I can't even really tell that it was a patch if you're gonna feel it. Looks like it took really well. That's our mini split water outlet line. Wasn't sure if it was gonna take or not. That's the second patch we did. That one was just the scratch. The other one, this big one on the left was full through thickness. Those are my super fancy slippers. And this is the tank in place. You can tell the dirt around the tank is dry. There's no leak. I ended up seeing how full the tank was. It was all the way to the top. That was an hour's worth of rain. So that is gonna make me buy a second tank and put it next to it. I'll show you guys that later. That's all that water pressure that's coming out of the tank. So it was a successful repair. I'm happy. That's $1,600 that I did not end up losing after all. It was easy enough to fix, and so far it's holding. This is a screenshot video of the website with all the other remaining tanks. I ended up buying a 2,500 gallon tank for the back. I've got a back house with more square footage on the roof, and more space to put it. So I ended up going with 2,500, and that 530 gallon was for the front, but that filled up with an hour's worth of rain. I'll calculate the square footage on my roof and see what it is. They say it's about 600 gallons per 1,000 square feet of roof if you have 1 inch worth of rain. So, all right. Hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I felt bad for a while. I ended up fixing it, and it worked out. So overall, really happy with the repair. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.